So, Yasos, Kalispera, Kalimera, whatever time of day you're watching this, welcome to WazZzaY's Coffee Shop Talk. First of all, apologies for the poor quality. It's COVID lockdown. There's a lot of things I don't have. I don't have a microphone, don't have proper cameras, don't have a camera crew, don't have anything, but I promise people that I'll have another Coffee Shop Talk this Monday today, so it's happening. First of all, before we get into all of that, people say that I talk too fast. I mean, it is what it is. I think fast, I talk fast, you gotta keep up, but I'll try to slow it down. Second of all, please subscribe, because there's gonna be a lot of music coming out, gonna be a lot of videos, a lot of content, and it's always good if people see it. So if you guys are really interested and you like what I've been putting out, subscribe, like the video, all that type of stuff, blah, 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 blah. Follow me on Instagram, all that other stuff, right? So I don't like the whole small talk. Let's just get into it, right? I'm gonna tell you a few stories. Hope you like them. If you don't, fuck them. But if you don't like them, it is what it is. Now, this episode is called Nights Out, right? I have lots, but I just selected a few for this particular episode, because I figured, they're kind of funny stories, and most of them are from the time before I came to Greece, so it's kind of innocent in my hand. It doesn't have to put anybody in any type of danger. Give anybody problems, right? So here's a background story, because there's always a background story, whatever I'm telling, right? I never used to go out when I first started playing football. I was young. I think I was 18 when I was living in Nuremberg, first time by myself. When I was 16, I was living in a small town in East Germany called Cottbus, small city, if you want to call it that. East Germany, difficult place to be in. Didn't really go out that much. I had a few friends that were from Canada with me. Like I said, I don't really want to be mentioning any names in these videos, so whatever, I'm gonna leave all that out also, unless I feel like, okay, it's a really innocent situation. But yeah, when I was out with these guys, when I was living in Cottbus, we didn't go out very much, but I remember one time they took me out, it was just wild. I'll go into it. So, 16 years old, I'm in my dorm room, or whatever it was called, and I didn't go out very much, and I was kind of depressed. I was kind of sad because things weren't going very well for me. I'm in East Germany, like, one of the only black people there, and it was just mad, like just really, really bad time, right? But like I said, I had a couple of guys that were from Canada there with me, and they decided to come, they caught me in my room, like, yo, Tam, we're going out today. No, they didn't call me. They didn't come to the room, they called me. They were at one of the guys' apartments, like, yo, Tam, come over, we're going out tonight, right? Here's the thing, when I was a kid, I used to have like a really, really special gift, if you want to call it that. I could drink hard alcohol and not feel it. Like, it was just, I don't know what it was about me. I could drink a lot of hard alcohol and just couldn't feel it. So this is probably the first time that I really went out when I was a young football player that I just like, I don't care, I just went all out. I went out before a few times when I was in Canada, but I never really drank that much, and this is the first time where I was like, I just went overboard, right? So check this out. They called me like, yo, Tam, come over to my apartment, we're gonna go out tonight, We had nothing to do that weekend, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. So we go out, I go to their place, and it was two guys that were there. I'm not gonna, like I said, I don't want to mention any names. I'm gonna try not to mention any names. I go to their place, knock on the door, and they have a bottle. They're like, not a bottle, they have a glass with white liquid in there. Look like water, but I know it's not water because I can smell it, right? It's hard liquor. So guys say to me, yo, you're not coming in the apartment until you drink this. And like I said, I used to have a special gift where I could drink hard liquor without feeling it, because I would just chug it and let it go straight down my throat and not actually taste it. So that burn effect never really affected me, and the afterburn was something I could handle. So me, it was a glass maybe this tall, and I just like, you know what, fuck it, whatever. And the two of them are just like, wow, that's crazy, it's amazing. I didn't think you could actually do it, because I told them the story. They were like, wow, that's crazy. Yo, you gotta do it again, I'm like, whatever, I'm 16, I'm trying to impress my friends. Whatever. It's been a terrible time that I've been in this place. Everything's been going bad. I'm like, you know what? I need a night out and just have some fun with boys, whatever. So they're like, yo, you gotta do it again. So they pour another one, full glass. Like, yo, drink it. I'm like, all right, cool. Blah. Yo, that's crazy. That's amazing. Yo, I can't believe you actually did it. Yo, you're crazy. All this stuff. And I'm like, yay, I'm impressing my older friends. Cool, right? So we drink a bit more. We start drinking a bit more. And then we said, we're gonna go to the Irish pub in town, right? So we go to the Irish pub. The Irish pub has these half-liter beers. So half-liter beer, we started drinking. And back then, I couldn't really drink beer that well. I didn't like it that much, so I always used the same effect. I would drink a lot of it at once so that I wouldn't have to taste it, just so I could be drinking with the guys. So me, beer, just chugged a whole bunch. And then I was done my half a liter maybe in like 5 minutes. And these guys were just like, yo, Dad, you're a tank, bro. If we ever have like a drinking contest, you need to be on my team, just pumping me up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the coolest 16-year-old in this bar, whatever, right? I'm drinking. So have another one for the road. I'm thinking, okay, we're drinking, then we're probably gonna go home, whatever, it's all cool. So one of the guys, he had a girlfriend, by the way. This is a side note to the story, you're gonna hear about it. So we're drinking, I drink another half a liter of beer. So I've had like 1 liter of beer, 2 whole glasses of just pure, I don't know what it is, something from Scotland, just nastiness. Drank all that stuff, and now we're like, okay, I'm thinking we're going home. Like, no, we're going to the disco. We're going to a disco. I'm like, okay. And at this point, that's when it starts to get a little bit fuzzy for me, right? So like, we're going to disco. We're going to disco. We're going to get in the tram. It's like a train, a local train that goes through the town. We're going to get in the tram. But the other side, there's a disco. There's a theme night happening at the disco. We're all gonna go there. Now back then, I used to have problems actually even getting into discos. But because I'm with these 2 guys, white guys in the discos, I'm like, well, you know, I probably might have a chance to get in because they're not gonna let some black little 16-year-old kid get in a disco or club, right? So here's the thing: we took the train, but I don't remember getting on the train or getting off the train. I just remember that I got to the train and I got woken up to get off the train. So that's how far I was already, right? Like I'm out. I'm already at the point like, and these guys are like, yo, let's go. I'm like, all right, cool, bye, whatever, let's go. So we go, and then out of nowhere, on some like James Bond movie theme, this guy's girlfriend, remember back then, cell phones weren't happening, so I have no idea how she showed up, because he wasn't texting her or anything. This is long time ago, right? He wasn't texting her, he didn't send her a message where we're going, but she just shows up out of nowhere on some James Bond thing, stops in front of us, where are you going? Like, they started arguing about something, I don't know what was going on. I'm in this corner, like, out of it, and in the end, he got in a fight with his girlfriend, like, fuck it, we're going. So we decided we're going to the club anyways, right? So we're going to the club, and it's just madness. Lights everywhere, like imagine East Germany, disco back, I don't know when it was, like 2000 or something like that, 99, I don't know. I think it was year 2000 or something, right? So just like techno music, disco lights flashing everything, and you're just like having like, I'm out of it, right? I'm thinking, I'm gonna die. So these guys are giving me a couple of drinks, and I'm just like, I'm gonna die. I decided to stand up in a corner, so I'm just chilling in a corner somewhere, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. Next thing I know, I shit you not, I thought I was hallucinating, but it felt like it started raining on me. So I'm sitting there in a disco, 16 years old, wasted, and it starts raining on me inside the disco. Now, I don't know what's going on. So I'm thinking to myself, is it raining? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Friday when he like smoked crack and he's just out of it. You don't know, does he have one of those things? I'm having one of those things. I'm just like, and like it's raining on me. I like feel water coming from here. I'm like, huh? And I feel water coming from there. I'm just, Jesus Christ, I'm hallucinating. I'm fucked. I need to go do something. I need to go. So I figure, okay, I'm gonna go to the toilet, sit down, put my head down, and just sleep until I feel better. Or maybe like I close my eyes 1 minute. You know, when you're drunk, you're like, okay, I'll close my eyes for 1 or 2 minutes. I'll feel better, right? So I go to the toilet. I'm just like, let me just lay down a little bit. I'll feel good. I don't know how long I was out. All I know is I hear one of my friends on the stall looking over me. Yo, he's over here. And I wake up and I'm like, ugh. And then he goes, oh, that's nasty. That's what you had in the cafeteria before you came out. So I didn't realize this, but apparently I threw up the entire toilet stall. I just threw up everywhere. I wake up and I see just my vomit everywhere. And I'm just like, and these guys are just like, yo, that's so nasty. They're just having the wildest time. They're having fun. And I'm just like, I'm out of it, right? So they're like, they carry me out. I guess like somebody had to clean all that up because it wasn't me. I don't know what happened at that point. But my boy's like, hey, okay, you know what? You should go home. Here, he puts money in my, no, he didn't put money in my hand. They took me downstairs to the taxi and they told the taxi driver where to take me. I was staying at a sports school back then and you needed like access to be able to get like, somebody had to let you in order to go in because it was a sports school. It was like an internat, they call it. It's like a boarding school for people that are in school, but they're all athletes, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna get in trouble, they can find out I'm this drunk. I'm gonna get in trouble, they find out I'm this drunk, but okay, I gotta deal with it, whatever, right? So I go, I get in the taxi and my friend paid the taxi driver, right? He goes, hey, look, here's the money to take him to where he needs to go. Gave him the address, because I didn't speak that much German back then anyways. This is where you gotta go, just drive him home and then it's all good, I'm thinking, okay, it's all good. So I sit in the car and the guy starts driving. I don't know if you've ever been that drunk to the point where you realize all the things that are passing you just make you start feeling dizzier, right? So I'm just like, holy shit. I'm like panicking. I'm like, I'm gonna throw up in this guy's car. I don't want to do that. So I figured, okay, maybe I need some fresh air. So I roll the window down. So now all the window draft is just rushing in my face, and I'm just feeling even worse, right? So I'm looking at this guy. He's just driving as if nothing's happening. That's what's happening in my head. And I'm like, you know what? I can't throw up in this car. I gotta go for it. I stick my head out the window like some dog canine, just out the window, right? I'm thinking, maybe I'm in trouble. I look at the guy. He's driving. I'm like, awesome, right? So I'm like, well, if it worked the first time, I don't feel that good, so I might as well try it a second time. Okay, you know what? Stick my head out again. Look back at him. He's driving. I'm like, best taxi driver ever. I'm gonna make it through this, right? So we finally make it back to the sports where I'm staying. This guy looks at me. He goes, "You owe me 50 euros." I'm like, for what? This guy goes, "Look in the back seat. You just threw up all over my back seat." And I'm like, really? I look and I'm like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize in my drunkenness. I don't know how I even remember this, but I remember homeboy went to the back, took out paper towels and spray, and made me clean out his back seat. And I'm there cleaning out his leather, like taxis are Mercedes in Germany. I'm cleaning out his leather back seat with my whole drunkenness until I cleaned it up until he was satisfied, obviously. And then finally he let me go. I go into the internet and I'm like, okay, you know what? I just gotta make sure that I'm okay. Try to act like I'm all normal when I'm going in so that the people that are the security at the front don't like report me for having been drunk or whatever. So I'm just like, wow, what a night. I go to sleep. Wake up the next morning, still drunk. I literally woke up, got out of bed, fell over. And I'm just like, okay, fuck, I just gotta go back to sleep. Went back to sleep. And then I got a phone call again from my boys. So I'm like, yo, boys, what's going on? They're like, yo, we're coming over. All right, cool. So they come over, they come in, and they're just like, yo, you were fucked last night. What was going on with you? I'm like, yeah, what was going on with you guys? Like, yo, we were wasted. After you left, we decided to just go around. We went into the city and they started streaking like when you like take your clothes off and just start running through the city. They're telling me all the stuff that they did. Like apparently they went to the casino and saw like our coach there, and they're like, they got all scared because they were streaking in the same street where the coach was and all this. So they're just telling me all this other wild shit that they did that night. And I'm just like, wow. And they're like, yeah, what happened to you? Where'd you go? I'm like, yo, bro, I was out of it. I started hallucinating. Like I felt like it was raining inside of me. They're like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, it was raining inside the club. It was crazy. They both look at each other and they start laughing. I'm like, what are you guys laughing at? I'm serious. Well, I really felt like it was raining. That's why I just left. I had to go to the toilet. Like, you didn't see us? I'm like, what do you mean I didn't see you? See what? They're like, you didn't know what happened? I'm like, yeah, what? They're like, they gave us water pistols when we walked inside the disco, bro. We had like water pistols. We were spraying the whole time. I'm like, what? Like, yo, we were in your face, like spraying you. I was like, you guys were there? Like, yeah, we were spraying you with the water pistol. I was like, bro, I'm never drinking hard liquor again. Right? Wrong. But anyways, fast forward from that, I was like, okay, I chose not to go out so much more because I was just like, yo, that's too much, right? And then I went to Nuremberg and I was living with this guy. I'm gonna say his name just because the name is relevant to the story for me anyways, right? So I was living in Nuremberg by myself, again, young player, and I was just doing nothing. I'd stay up all night because I just couldn't sleep. Stay up all night, go to training, always tired, and then just couldn't sleep for whatever reason, right? I'm always like, I'm a night person, I'm a night owl, right? So Ricky is his name. He used to take us out. He used to take me out every once in a while. I was young, I was 18, he was a little bit older. We were both playing on the reserve team. He's like, yo, come on, man. He's an American guy from Seattle. Yo, come on, man, let's go. So we go out, right? And I never really had any real interaction with girls up until Ricky kind of taught me most of the things that I learned about girls back when I was young. So I remember I was chilling with Ricky. He always used to, this guy used to pick up girls like it was like dust from the floor, just picking up girls. Always get the number. And I remember when I was younger, I know a lot of it, we always see this 3-day rule that people always just say, yeah, you get a girl's number, you gotta wait 3 days, let her think about you, and then after that you write her, and then after that, she realizes you're not too thirsty, like you're not too excited to talk to her, and then after that, she'll be like, okay, you're cool, whatever. Ricky wasn't about that. So whenever I went out with Ricky, he'd get up, we'd go out. End of the night, it's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, we go Burger King, get something to eat, and he'll just meet some random girl there, chat to her, talk to her up, get her number, and while we're driving home, he start texting her. I'm like, yo, aren't you supposed to wait? He goes, nah, bro, you're supposed to strike with the iron's hot. He's like, yo, check this out. So he started giving me game, listen to this. He goes to me, you gotta think, this girl might be a little bit drunk right now, right? She gave me her number because she likes the feeling that she's having while she's drunk. If I text her now, and then we have a little conversation, good little conversation. When she wakes up, she'll see all that. She's like, oh, okay, this guy's cool. We had a little bit of chat. It's all good. If I don't text her now and she wakes up and she A, might not remember that she even gave me her number, or B, if she doesn't remember exactly who I am, then she might not want to talk no more. So you got to you got to make a connection right away while you still have the connection, and then you can build on that right away. So I was like, oh, bing, okay. So later on in life, I'm like, okay, when you meet girls, probably just make it connect. You get a number right away, and then you can have a little conversation, and you connect, and then whatever. So all you guys out there, I'm letting you know right now, this whole 3-day rule and all that stuff, throw it out. You got it right away. So anyways, all that's all good, right? Go back to the story. So going out. Like I said, I never really went out then when I was in season, because I felt like, okay, I don't want to have that situation where I just go overboard and then something happens, like I put myself in trouble. I never wanted to do that. So whenever I went back to Canada for holidays, I'd always go with one of my boys and go on a holiday somewhere. And then I would just imagine the entire season, I would do nothing. I would stay home. I would just be a really good boy, always have late nights, couldn't sleep, whatever. And then I had a boring life, really ultra boring life. That's what it is to be in youth football. You have a really boring life because your concentration, all you want is just to be a professional football player, right? But when I go home and I know I got no responsibilities, I'm like, yo, I need to let it all out. I need to let it all out. And mind you, I also wasn't getting any girls. I didn't have a girlfriend. I wasn't really getting girls. So I was like, I really need to get it all out. So first time I went out, or first time I went wild, I went with one of my friends to Mexico, Cancun, right? So I go there, and one of my best friends, and I remember we was just like, yo, let's go to this place. We were looking at the hotels we were going to. Okay, over 21 hotel. I think I just turned 21, or over 18 hotel, or whatever it was. So it's a place for over 18-year-olds. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're not having no kids. It's just gonna be us. It's gonna be like mature women. We're gonna get so many girls. We're gonna get so many girls. All right, let's go. So we go to Mexico. First night, right? First night in Mexico. In the hotel we're staying at, I don't know if you've ever been people that have ever been to Mexico, they have hotels that have their own clubs or whatever. So we go downstairs and we're first of all, it's disappointing because the over 18 thing was quote unquote for married people. So it was all just a bunch of married people that were there. And we're like, oh man, we went to the wrong place, because we saw other places are just bang, just parties on the beach and the pool, all this stuff. And our hotel is just people in love holding hands, and we're just we chose the wrong place. But okay, fine. That first night we were there though, there was a little bit of a party happening in the disco. So we go down there, we join the party, and they're giving these shots called doubles, right? They're just giving people shots of doubles, and it's it was tequila, but it tasted like the sweetest juice you've ever tasted in your life. This is not tequila, this is juice. So we're just sipping on that juice, right? Sipping on that juice. And then the entire party, I think it was maybe 15 people, yo, let's all go to the club. So okay, they get vans from the hotels, put everybody in the vans, and we all go to the club. And there's this one girl that I realized, okay, I might be able to talk to this girl, right? So we all get in the van. You start, how it is when you're on holiday, you meet people really easily, whatever, all that stuff, right? So we all get in the van and we all go to this club. And the thing is, the club was just half empty. There was 2-level clubs. So I guess in season it's full all floors. But it's just when we got in there, it's all empty, and upstairs, no, it's all the people are downstairs, upstairs, completely empty. The bathrooms are also upstairs, right? So I remember my boy, he's like, yo, I go to the bathroom. He went to the bathroom, disappeared. I actually did not see him for the rest of the night. So here's the first part of the story, right? So me and this girl that, we realized, we might like talking to each other, right? I was like, let's go upstairs, see if we can talk where there aren't that many people, right? So we go upstairs, right? We find a little space behind a bar. We're like, hey, let's go down here on the floor and see if we can talk a little bit more, right? Security comes in with the hey, what are you doing? Speaking Mexican or Spanish, it's yo, you gotta get out. No, sorry, they didn't want to kick me out at first. Yo, you gotta go downstairs. So while they're trying to take me downstairs, I'm like, yo, my boy's been in the bathroom for a long time. Can I go get him? And I guess they might not have understood what I was saying, so they start pushing me. So when they push me, I turn around, I push the guy back, and that was it. All 6 of them grab me, get out, no, get out. And they're kicking me out of the club. I'm like, yo, I'll leave, just go get my boy, get my boy. First time I ever got kicked out of the club was for trying to talk to a girl inside the club. So I'm just like, oh, okay, they kicked me out of the club, fine, whatever. So I go outside and I'm like, okay, I need to piss, right? So I go behind the club and I start to piss on the side of the wall of the club because I couldn't go anywhere else. Police lights come in. I'm like, Jesus. Police like, what are you doing? That's a fine. You can't do that. You got to pay the fine. I'm like, how much is the fine? $10. I'm like, okay. sorry, I just realized I'm really talking fast again, so I'm gonna slow down. So the police is like, it's $10 to pay the fine. I'm like, okay, I only have $20 on me, because like when I went to Mexico, I had a whole bunch of change of 20s, right? So I'm like, okay, I only have 20. Is it okay? I'll give you the 20. The guy goes, no, it has to be 10. You can't take any more than 20, any more than 10, excuse me. I'm like, okay. So I go to this bar, the doorman kicked me out. I'm like, yeah, can I get change to pay the police for pissing on the side of your club? Like, okay. He goes to get change, gives me back my 210s. I give the police officer his 210s. He's like, oh, they leave? All right, cool. So I'm like, yo, police officer, can you please go get my friend? He's literally stonewalling me. He's just looking at me and not doing anything. I'm like, okay, here, I'll give you money. Please go get my friend. Gave the guy $10. He goes, comes back, because your friend's not there. I'm like, what do you mean my friend's not there? He was there. He's there. No, it's not there. Okay, now the reason I know that he was in the bathroom is because when before I started talking to this girl, I actually went to go see if he was still in the bathroom, and literally he was in the bathroom just like this. So I knew he's in the bathroom, but I just figured this guy's so passed out, he doesn't even realize what's going on, right? So I had to leave, right? So when I leave, I'm like, okay, I don't want to go home. It's still early. So I get in the taxi and I'm like, yeah, take me to a strip club. So the taxi driver starts driving me, and I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna take me to a strip club, I'm gonna see some girls, some titties, and after I'll go home. Okay, so you ever been to Cancun, Mexico? Cancun is like, the resort area is banging. You have all the hotels, lights, everything, all that stuff, whatever. And then as soon as you leave the resort area, it's just darkness. Like, it is darkness. Darkness is spreading. Like, this is some Rick James darkness. So I'm just like, okay, take me to the strip club. So we're in the hotel area. I'm like, okay, we're gonna go somewhere around here. And then he just leaves that area, and then we're just going somewhere dark. And I'm like, And I was drunk, but I got to the point where I had like a whole bunch of 20s in my pocket. I'm like, this guy might want to go rob me somewhere. Okay, let's see. So I start asking, yo, how much longer is this gonna take? He's like, yeah, he's speaking in Spanish. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm gonna die. We get to some place where it's just like a big, huge house of like, I don't know, and just like girls just like hanging out on the balconies, just like the dirtiest girls you've ever seen. Come on, papi, come on, you want like it's like $100, and I'm just like, nah, baby. Like I was looking at it, just like, nah, this ain't the vibe. No, I was like, no, you know what? Take me back to the hotel. This guy goes, okay, so takes me back to the hotel. I start passing out in the taxi, and I'm just like, okay, so before I pass out, I gotta make sure this guy doesn't rob me. I take my money, put it in my socks, and then I pass out in the car. Long story, it's been a long story anyways. So to cut that story off short, I finally got back to the hotel room. I don't remember how, I just remember waking up, I'm in my bed, my boy's in his bed, and I woke up and I'm like, yo, how'd you get home? And he just looked at me like, I actually don't really remember. How'd you get home? And I was like, well, I was in a taxi, but I don't remember how I got from the taxi here. And he was like, okay, I don't know. And that was the first day we had. We were there for a week. So imagine the rest of it, right? Next time I went to Cancun was with another friend of mine. And this story is much worse. So maybe I think it was 1 or 2 years later, I went with another boy of mine. Like, here's a story, background story about my friend. He's one of those like typical black guys that loves big girls. Like he just loves big girls, right? And I'm like, oh, cool, whatever, that's your thing. I like good looking girls, as far as I'm concerned, right? So we go, and this time I was like, yo, let's not make the same mistake me and my boy made last time, trying to go into like 18 over club with all married people. Nah, let's just go to regular hotels where it's just gonna be a bunch of like people our age just wilding out, having fun, and we can just have a great time in the hotel we're staying at instead of trying to, go to other hotels and try to have fun during the day and all this other stuff. All right, cool. So we go. So we go to this one hotel, and it was just like ramped with like high school graduates or like first year university students, and that's like between like the ages of 18 to 21. And I must have been like 22 or something like that at that time. So it's just like perfect, right? So it's like, here's the thing. There's a lot of stories to tell, but I'm just gonna stuff two of that time period, right? So my boy, I'm not gonna mention his name. Like I said, he's into big girls, right? So we're all talking, and this is one really big girl from Texas, like just like big, right? And I'm just like, bro, I wouldn't touch that with a pogo stick. He's looking at it like meat, right? So I'm just like, bro, nah, never in my life. And he's like, yo, okay, whatever. So he starts chatting to the girl, right? So we're all just chatting to all people like they're all there for the first time, because like people go in cycles. They'll come one day, other people are leaving the next day. So you're just meeting people that are like there for the first day. Yo, where you guys from? Yeah, cool. Let's all go out together. Okay, y'all go out. So we're all right, we're all gonna go out. So I go, my boy, yeah, yo, we're out, we're leaving, you coming? He's like, nah, man, I think I'm staying behind. And he looks at me with that look like he's secured the big girl, right? And I'm just like, yeah, that's your business. I'm out. So I go out with these guys and we have a wild time too, right? But I'm just like, I'm laughing. I'm like, yo, how did you, I don't know, whatever, right? So fast forward a few days later, we all go out at the group that are all there, right? My boy disappears. It's me, this big girl, her friend who was cute, and a whole bunch of other people, right? So Matt, remember, we're all staying at the same hotel. So I'm just like, all right, cool. And I'm just like, we've all been drinking. We all lost each other. We all found each other again. My boy, he's disappeared again. I'm just assuming he's back at the hotel or he's somewhere else. I don't know what's going on. So this big girl's like, yo, my girl, she likes you. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. So I'm like, I'm out. Like I'm back to like this point, but I'm still functioning, right? So she's like, yeah, my girl likes you. Why don't we all go back to the hotel? We can come to my room and kick a little after party. I'm like, bet, okay. So we all go. And here's the thing though, I didn't really remember everything until the next day when I saw the pictures on my phone. It was one of those like hangover things, literally, right? So here's the story that happened based on what my phone told me and what I could remember after I saw what was on my phone. So the girl's telling me, yo, my girl's really into you, whatever, let's go to my room, we'll have a little after party, whatever. I'm like, bet, okay. But I'm like, afterwards I realized this girl didn't say a fucking thing, right? Like, she didn't even come talk to me. You're all into me, but you didn't say nothing to me. But this big girl who's like your manager is telling you that you're into me. Okay, fine. So we all go, and then like we are a big group of people that we all went together back to the hotel, and then everybody goes to their floors, whatever, and we were staying on the same floor. So everybody else just kind of got off the elevator, and it's just me, this girl, the big girl, and her friend. So I remember I took a picture of all of us in the elevator because there's a big mirror in the elevator. So I took a picture of us. That's how I even remember that the friend was there, right? So we all go to her room, and then as I literally just jumped on the bed because I was tired, right? So I'm on the bed, and then all of a sudden I notice it's just the two of us in there. So I'm like, yo, where's your friend? Now, mind you, I'm like this when I'm asking, where's your friend? And she's like, homegirl had to go. And I'm like, and I realized what was happening. I got raped by a big girl. And happens. So I remember I told my friend the next day, and he's just laughing at me. And I'm like, I got raped though. I got raped. It wasn't consensual. It was like, I couldn't move. I was literally like, and that's how it was. I have slight memory of what happened, but at the end of the day, it wasn't something like I was going, but anyway, it doesn't matter. This big girl raped me. That's my story and I'm sticking to it, right? So I was always scared of doing things like that publicly wherever I was playing because I didn't want to put myself in a position where I would jeopardize my career. I would embarrass myself, right? So I always made sure don't go too far with it. But things will always happen that people will try to put you in that position. You always got to be like, I don't know if I should. So by the time I finally got to Greece, I was a little bit mature with it. I didn't really go out to get smashed like this. I'd only do it on holidays, but otherwise, whenever I go out, just go have a couple beers, chill with my boys, or even if I chill with a friend, somebody that I knew there, didn't really do all that much, right? So I go out this one time, and this time I'll mention name, right? So I'm out with Kone. When I first got to Ike, we used to hang out a lot. So we used to just go chill out the bars. Just go chill out the bars a little bit. He was like me. Just likes to go out, hang out a little bit, have a couple drinks, and then after that we go home, sleep, and I slept better that way, right? Like over time, I realized I just slept better that way. So we go out this one time. This bar, I think it was on Kivisias. And we chilling, just having a good time, whatever. And I noticed there's these two girls at the bar. I didn't really notice too much about them, but I just noticed there's two. One of them was a light-skinned girl, like she's half black, mixed, half black, half white, whatever. And she's with her friend. I just feel, okay, maybe they might be Greek, they might not, I don't know, whatever. I think they were athletes. I think they were from probably the US. Like, I know now they were probably from the US, but at that point I'm thinking, okay, she might be an athlete, she probably might be American. Okay, cool. And here's the other thing. Contrary to what I said last time, that girls like will come and talk to you and all those other things, they only do that in situations where like there's a lot of you that are all out and you're all having a great time. They just want to kind of like feel the vibes. They just want to come and talk, maybe, just get to know who you guys are, because they might not know who you are. They might be coming from another country or whatever. But it's never really like women approach you to like let you know that they're into you, they want anything from you, right? Women don't normally do that because they're usually afraid of like of getting denied. So I wasn't really used to women approaching me in any way, right? So that's enough as it is already. But I'm telling Kone, yo, Kone, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, right? She's like, okay. So I go to the bathroom, and without realizing it, this one girl followed me to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, okay. So she taps me on the shoulder. I turn around. Oh, what? Okay. Now we're in the bathroom. You gotta understand, the first thing that I notice when I see a woman, one of the first things that I always notice is her feet and her shoes. So I turn around, look at her. She's like, okay, she's kind of cute, but she was drunk, like belligerently drunk, right? And so she kind of like pushed me up against the wall as if to like kind of like assert the fact that she wants me in this situation. And I'm just like my head is thinking 50,000 different things at the same time. Okay, there's a whole bunch of people in here. 1, 2, she's really drunk. 3, I look at the floor and I realize it's a bathroom. There's like dirty feet. It's like wintertime. So there's, have like dirt, water, feet, people pissing like on the pissoirs, whatever. And it's just like a whole mixture of a whole bunch of shit on the floor. It just disgusted me as it was. But to make matters worse, like I said, I look at shoes and feet. This girl had open toe shoes. So imagine these are shoes. Her feet were like over the shoes, right? So she's like Flintstone crabbling through the men's toilet, trying to act all sexy, like she wants something from me. And I just remember, I looked at her, I was like, and she realized at this point, I'm not really into it. So I could tell like the kind of dejection was already coming. And then as soon as I said to her, hey, you know what? And as soon as she heard that, she was already like, ugh. And I was like, no, seriously, no, you're a pretty girl and everything, but she's already walked off. She's already pissed off that I've denied her. And I'm just like, what do you expect? You're belligerently drunk and you're walking around with open toe shoes in the men's bathroom with your feet crawling over, like your toes are crawling over piss and dirt. Like, no, it's not sexy. It's not sexy. So that was just like, wild thing that happened. But anyway, so back to what I want to talk about. So going out in Greece was always like one of those things where I never really did all that much. I was just like, I'll go out to chill and then never really went that wild. But like the few wild times that it happens, you heard about one of them, and that was, the talking situation, right? So another story, for example, when I first got to Greece, back when I really, really first got to Greece, I was with my agent. We were at this really nice restaurant. I think like it was a Turkish restaurant or whatever, really big place. Huge, like really just beautiful place. And I remember we're sitting having a great time, having a conversation. I'm excited, brand new city, new adventures, like my whole career is in front of me. And then this party, like this table next to us with a whole bunch of people, and they just start having this big old party. Like the cake came out, and they're like sprinklers, fireworks, everything, firecrackers, all this stuff, whatever. And they're just like singing their songs, whatever. And I'm like, okay, so this guy that was sitting right next to me, I tap him on the shoulder, like, hey, what's going on here? What are you guys celebrating? He goes, oh no, we're all a set of a new TV show that's just started out. We're celebrating the inauguration of the TV show. We're thinking we're gonna have a good time, all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool, congratulations, man. So what's your name, and all this stuff. He goes, yeah, this is my name, I'm an actor, and all this. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And he started asking me about me. So I'm like, yeah, well, I'm a new player for Panionios and all this. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, yeah. And I realized when I first got to Greece that people always kind of like, it was a networking, it's a real networking city where like if people are in certain circles, they all have each other's numbers just to network. Okay, so we can meet, or we can like, go out together. Or yeah, there's always a lot of people that promoters that always want the numbers. So like, there's a party over here, yeah, come to all this stuff. So people are always exchanging numbers. It wasn't like, it was foreign to me before, but once I started hanging out a little bit in Greece, I realized, okay, it's normal, right? So the guy goes to me, hey, it's cool. If you want, give me your number, and then maybe we can hang out sometime. I'll show you a little bit of the city if you're new. Well, this stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. So I have, actor, must be somebody might be well known. Sure, why not? Make some friends, right? So we exchange numbers. And at that point, I started to go home. So when I'm going home, this guy just sends me a message. Yo, bro, it was nice meeting you. Cool. Like I said, if you ever want to meet somewhere, you want to show you around the city, just let me know. I'm like, yeah, cool. It's really nice meeting you too, man. Congratulations on the show. Wish you guys success, all this stuff, whatever, right? He was all right, cool. So he's just like, yeah. So what are you and your friend, like my manager? He's like, what are you guys doing? Did you guys go out, or are you just going home or whatever? I'm like, no, actually, I'm just about to get home right now. I'm just parking. I'm probably just gonna go to sleep. The guy's like, oh, well, if you want, I can come over. And I was just like, I literally, I was parking, and I just said to myself, this nigga's trying to Ricky me. He's trying to pull a Ricky. And that's when it clicked to me. And then the entire conversation started going back in my head about what was said and how he said. I was like, this man is trying to Ricky me. And I was just like, nah, B. No. And I didn't answer I just didn't answer his message. And I remember he wrote, like, I think it was 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, he wrote another message, tried to say, yo, did I say it? I'm like, nah, I didn't know what to say. I'm like, nah. I don't want to offend you, but at the same time, nah, right? So, and here's the thing though, like, gay guys hitting on me is nothing new. Like, it's happened a few times before in my life, but I'm telling you, I've never at the same time laughed so hard and been so scared at the same time as this one situation, right? So I'm not gonna mention the country, I'm not gonna mention the place. I'm out with a bunch of friends or people that I thought were friends. You know, like sometimes I'll go out with people and then I'll go out with somebody and meet other people and then you're just like, you're all having a good time. Like, hey, you know what? Sticking around, having a couple drinks. I just feel like I'm feeling the vibes, right? Feeling the vibes. So I'm with people that I've seen before at this place that I frequent with another friend of mine. And my other friend's like, yo, you know what? I think I'm good. I'm gonna go home. He's like, all right, cool. I'll chill with these people. I know them, right? So we're all chilling, we're all hanging out. And then somebody goes, hey, let's go to the after party. I'm like, all right, sure, why not? All right, we'll go to my place. I'm like, all right, cool. So there's a whole bunch of us, and we walk out of the bar that we're hanging out of. We all go like to the cars, and I'm not driving because I'm smashed. And somebody goes, hey, you know what? Follow us in the taxi behind us. You guys, follow us in the taxi behind us, and we're gonna take the car, and then we'll meet you guys at the spot. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I don't speak the language in this country, right? So this guy that I'm chilling with, he starts talking to the taxi driver, telling us where we gotta go. He's on the phone with his friends that I'm assuming, okay, they're letting him know where we're gonna go. And then he's talking to his friends about where we're gonna go and all that stuff. So we all do that. So we get to this like small apartment and I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm expecting that everybody's inside the apartment waiting for us, whatever. So we walk inside the apartment and it's just like nothing, empty. And I'm just like, It didn't click to me at that point. I'm just like, okay. I'm like, where is everybody? Guy goes to me, oh, don't worry, they're coming. I'm like, okay, maybe they go get drinks. Like, yeah, they want to go get drinks. They can do all other stuff here. They're coming, don't worry, they're coming. We're gonna have a good time. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go sit down. He's like, yeah, if you want, you can just go chill in the. You can go chill in the bed if you want to lay down. I'm like, okay, look at it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I kind of take a nap away. So I go, I chill, and then this guy, after like 5-10 minutes, yo, where's everybody? He's like, no, they're coming. I'm like, no, where's everybody? At this point, I'm like, no. People are coming. Where's, like, call somebody. Where's everybody? Guy goes, okay, I'll tell you the truth. Nobody's coming. I'm like, and I swear to you, at that point, automatically, my arms just went like this, because I'm ready to fight. Like, if you take one step forward, I'm gonna knock your ass out, or like knife, whatever. Like, I'm either gonna get out of here bleeding, or I'm just gonna walk out of here, right? So I literally just told the guy, bro, I'm out. He goes, you sure you don't want? And he's like, you sure you don't want to see? I'm like, no, I don't want to see. No, I'm out, bro. I'm out. So come on. I'm like, no. So I literally just like, I'm ready to fight you, but at the same time, I'm walking out like, I'm trying to be polite, but I'm like, no. So I walked out of there, and I remember I was basically doing like a walk of shame with no shame at all in the middle of like nowhere. Not middle of nowhere, but in like some place in the city that I had no clue about. And I'm like looking around for a taxi, like trying to get my phone to follow a taxi until I finally found one. And I just remember thinking to myself, Jesus Christ. Like, truth be told, can you imagine if that happened to a woman and a man did it? Like the fear that you would have, like, even me as a man, I had a little bit of fear, but I was just like, ugh. But at the same time, when I'm in the taxi, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Why does this stuff always happen to me? Why does this stuff always happen to me? But yeah, I mean, this is just like, this is a small portion, let's say. Like, these are actually innocent stories that I have, but a small portion of the stuff that happens when I've been out. So again, this is episode 4 of WazZzaY's Coffee Shop Talk. That's enough stories for today. I'm tired of talking. My voice is out. I gotta have a couple drinks. I gotta sleep. I got a lot to do in the morning. But I had to make sure I get this done for you guys because a lot of people are telling me they're really interested in these stories. They're having a good time listening to them. I'm having a good time telling them. So again, if you are, please subscribe, like the video, follow me on Instagram, WazZzaY_official. Like the YouTube channel is also WazZzaY official for the people that are not watching on YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Like I said, in the next coming weeks, there's going to be a lot of music coming out. This Friday, for example, the Ella Seguido remix is coming out, and then there's going to be other music that I have coming out with Greek producers that got at me. I really love these guys, man. They got great music out there. I've got other music that's coming out. It's going to be in English. I got a whole bunch of stuff coming out. So subscribe to the channel, pay attention, because there's a lot of material coming out, and I appreciate you guys' time. I had a good time. I hope you had a good time. And that's it. Okay? I'm out. Peace.
Chili, 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 caffeinato. Caffeinato. Caffeinato.